Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of the web series from Thinkshala. Thank you so much for all the responses and also so many tips for us. And we are incorporating all of those as we go. And if you have topics that you want us to incorporate, we are happy to. So give us all the topics. Like this, we have a new topic for today, and it's very intriguing. Um, the topic for today is IPR and social media. As usual, the three musketeers from Thinkshala are here. That's Smita, our chief ideator, also a management consultant. Hi, Smita, welcome. And
Hello.
hey, and then there is Prashant, who is the communications scholar. Hi, Prashant.
Namaste.
Namaste. Awesome. So today we've got the topic IPR and social media. And the moment you say IPR, I want to say I know a little bit of it, which is required just as a communicator and to be there on social media. But I don't understand anything beyond that. So this is a topic which completely Smita needs to handle. So last time you guys quizzed me. So this time I want to quiz Smita. Smita,
Okay.
tell me, what does this jargon mean? IPR seems like a
Okay.
big thing. Tell me.
Yes, and it's one of the very talked about topic also currently. And IPR just stands for intellectual property rights. So intellectual property is defined as the creations of the human mind, uh, to simply put it as that. So, and the rights part of it, it is the rights given to the persons over the creations of their minds, rights over the creations of their minds. And it is usually given to the creator as an exclusive right over the use of his or her creations. Okay, and yes, these rights are time specified, means when you go and get it registered, then it becomes time specified. So we will understand, as you are about to quiz me so many questions, so I will try to answer you to the point.
Ma'am, see, now I feel one thing is that today everybody are connected on social media.
Yes,
Okay, if
yes,
I say that each one of us spend majority of our day on social media, it is not an
yes,
exaggeration.
yes,
Okay, because social media has become an integral part of everybody's life.
yes,
And some are so much addicted that they cannot wake up out of the bed without social media.
very much.
So, giving so much importance to social media, even the consumers, I mean, when it comes to marketers, business, everybody have taken it as a platform to advertise and promote whatever commodity, I mean, goods or service they're giving away. Okay, now, there is any connection with intellectual property rights and social media?
Yes, because this is when we are talking about intellectual property, that is some innovations or something new which has been created by the human minds. And how do you share it with others, right? It is a property and you have to share it with others. Only then, like, you get your appreciation for it, right? So today, as of means in today's world, it is a virtual world, and especially during the pandemics, it's more of a virtual world, right? So social media is one way where we are trying to share a lot of our things, and also we are also endorsing a lot of our things, right? So when we come to business, that is where we are endorsing our business ideas. We are promoting our business, and in the process we are talking about our product or services. So social media is a platform where you are displaying your intellectual properties.
So, what is the most commonly encountered IPR when you say that you're displaying your properties? What is the most common format?
So one, that is when it comes to social media as such, one of the very common one is a copyright. So copyright is one intellectual property, which, if you want the definition of copyright as such, so it is a type of intellectual property that gives its owners the exclusive rights to use that creative work, right? He or she has the right to use it however they want. So that is a right. So and on social media, what are the things which come out as these creations are? It can be a literary work, a text, blogging where they write articles, and Twitter where they put up messages, right? Anything literary, text form. And then you have dramatic, you have musical and artistic work, that is photographs or art itself. And illustrations also are one of these type of works. And no, when you and there are also non-literary work, that is your code, software code, that also comes under the copyright protection.
One moment, Smita. Now
Okay.
that you're talking about codes. So if
Okay.
codes comes under copyright, then what is trademark?
Trademark is a significant, what you say, uh, a logo or a kind of a significant, letter or something which you use to showcase your product or service. Okay, trademark is typically used for companies, businesses, right? Apple, you have a half-eaten apple as an Apple uh, trademark. That is the Apple's logo, right? That is a trademark. Something which is significant, distinct, rather. These are the qualities. Significant and distinct are the qualities of a trademark.
Got that. Yes, Prashant, please go ahead.
No, actually, ma'am, when you're talking about copyright, suddenly something popped up.
Yeah.
If we just, when we, create an account with Facebook or Twitter, we agree with the terms and condition of social media that we allow them to use the content.
Yes.
Okay. We allow them to reuse the content, whichever we share, whichever we post.
Mm.
At the same time, if you come on social media itself, there is an option called a share, and
Mm.
we can even download it also. Okay. I seriously want to know, how do this copyright law and social media law override each other?
No, there is no social media law here as such. Okay, copyright protection is there for the creator, right? And here, anybody who violates my right, there comes another important terminology, very important when you're talking about rights. The another term which goes hand in hand is infringement. That is violation of my right. Okay, so it can be a breach, it can be a violation or encroachment of a right. Okay, so here we are talking about copyright. And yes, you are talking about Twitter, right? First, let us understand infringement, that is a violation, how the violation can happen. Violation of the digital platform, violation of that is infringement of the digital copyright, leads to something more what you say, much bigger thing called digital piracy. It leads to digital piracy, we can say. And what happens here? I will come to the Twitter question, because when I define, what are the types of violation which can take place, then you will also understand what is this in context of Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever are these social media platforms. So when various ways through which a violation or infringement of the digital copyright can happen is when original work is shown as the work of the copier, the person who is copying that work and showcasing it as his own, his or her own. That is one kind of a violation of the creator's right, right? And another one is parody. This is a very common thing you see. You see online parody. What is that? Online parody is nothing but where you don't agree with the creator's work, so you try to criticize the work, right? Criticize the work of the author. And also there is one more. which is called endorsement. That means you want to endorse the author's thoughts. Again, that is called parody. You admire that work, right? Original creator's work. And another one aspect is where in terms of photography, where you use original photos, and you use it in your whatever you are going to publish, a text or anything. I wanted to make it more effective to the reader or the viewer. So I use some photographs, right? Images. So I extract a photograph which is taken by a photographer, and he has a copyright over it. And I try to make a modification, edit it, and use it in my publication, right? That is the original. It means doing some modification to the original work, and then you have copying the creator's style is again infringement. Okay, so these are some of the common ways how you are violating a creator's or an author's creation, his right over his creation. So this is infringement, right?
Right.
Fine. Twitter. Can you repeat your question, Prashant? We put up some things on the Twitter, right? So here again, as I said, there will be two types of violations. One is violation in terms of publishing it, if it is somebody's else, if you're copying it, okay. And then one more violation, I think this is what you are trying to make a point. This is, I am putting up my own creation, my own text there, which I have created, and I am the author. Whereas when I open my account with Twitter, I give away the license or the rights to Twitter. Correct? This was what you asked. Okay. Yes, you have to be careful there. You have to be very careful. And this is one area. This is called a risk of sharing. These are the risk of sharing on the social media platform. Okay, these are the risks. So
I understand.
I'll tell you one example. I think this is a very famous example on Twitter only. On Twitter example where infringement happened. Here, what happened was this one. This Kane West, right? He's a musician, right? A rapper. So his song Fade, I think that was a Fade album. What happened was this fan, was so over eagerly waiting for this album to release that he posted it on Twitter. Okay, anticipation, streaming. It was connected with some streaming, what do you say, platform, and he just shared it. Okay. And the user, there is another third person, the accused user took the video from this shared streaming service, uploaded it to the Twitter. That's all happened, right? The user was so enthusiastic, he took it from the streaming service, and he uploaded it on his Twitter account. He was just an enthusiastic fan here. He did not do anything wrong. Okay, as a fan, he did what all fans do, but he invoked the wrath of the lawyers here, who threatened to sue him, and the sum was around $20 million US dollars. So immediately, this video was taken off the Twitter account. Okay. So this is what happens when you are over enthusiastic and you don't know, and you think you're doing a noble service, right? And you're sharing it. So here comes the problem of sharing somebody's else work. You are just sharing the link. You are not sharing the music at all, right? So you have to be very careful what you share that is on the Twitter account. And then you also should know that when you are sharing that it is not a free content. Very, very important. Yes.
Very interesting views and actually very scary.
Yeah, very scary. See, what happens is, yeah, there is you don't have to get scared here. You have to, yeah, I think the more appropriate word is be careful. Be very careful, because not all sharing will all sharing will lead you to the kind of penalty like $20 million. Okay, but you have to be very careful when you're sharing. You have to declare. That is where you become safe. You have to declare and give, or rather take a consent. Rather go to the respective person, whosoever it is, and say that can I share it. So a thoughtful action is more important here than the.
Smita,
Yes.
see, as you speak, there are so many things I'm thinking of. Okay, as in, as a social media user, I think
Mhm.
this seems like big. Yeah, I mean, what exactly are the risks that we are exposed to? See, I'm a digital marketer. The only thing I can understand is what I studied in my journalism and corporate communication course on infringement and copyrights, and the terms and use from Google and from Twitter and Facebook for opening accounts. And
Uh,
sometimes this goes like that, okay, because the terms and the jargons. So let's put it this way: as an average social media user, what risks
yes.
am I exposed to?
Okay, there are, first let us understand there are two types of people here who are using the social media. Okay, one is a common average user who is a poster. Okay, he doesn't have anything here created of his own. Rather, he is, as I mentioned about this overzealous fan of Kate West, who who shared the link to the streaming of the album. So that person was a poster only, right? So you have a risk as a poster. As a poster, also, what are the things you're violating and you're at risk, liable for? And then you have the original creator himself or herself, who is going to publish it. You have to be very careful. All the social media platforms, when you sign up to them, you as an expert on social media would know that copyrights are mentioned there, right? You can see to it that whatever you're publishing on these platforms can be protected, you as a creator. So understand and go to all those privacy settings and set it right before you post it, right? So this are the two varieties of people you find. And if you want to, let us see how you are going to be in trouble, like poster. So first is, uh, when you're posting, you have to know that no content which you are taking from online platform is free. That is copyright free. You have to just take this as a blind, by default, none of the available material information is free on the net. Just remember this. This is a cautious, caution given to you, because some of the rights of the copyright owner is that he owns it, he owns the content himself, and he alone has a right to do whatever he wants with it. Like, he wants to publish it, make it public, he wants to distribute it, and he wants to make any derivative work out of it. All are the rights of the copyright owner, right? So if you're doing anything with his work, then remember you are violating all these rights, right? So you have to be very careful. Don't take anything lightly. First thing is, take permission. You know who the author is of that material. So the best is, just take permission from the author. And if you really want to use, for your, there is something called fair use in copyright. For research purposes, for educational purposes, you can use it where there is no commercials uh, attached to the whole thing, right? For educational purposes, you can use it, but no commercials. Remember, you should not sell that material anywhere. So next one is that, if you want to use any photograph, text, whatever is it, videos, use something which is on public domain. Okay, but remember again, everything on the public domain is not copyright free, right? But copyright, what happens is, it becomes free for public once it is published to the public. right? So that can be used. That extent of liability comes down. And then give credit. When you're using it, give credit to the author. You know who is the author, so just give credit, original. So if you're unable to, this step is taken when you are unable to take any written consent from the author. Okay, so you give a credit for that. And then before you take up anything from the public domain, as I said, everything on the public domain is not free. You just go through the ownership rights. It will be given there. There will be a small C sign given, right? C will be given. That means it is a copyrighted item. So please, and I would say the best way to conclude, keep away from this risk of this getting into the infringement of copyright is purchase it. Purchase the material and use it. Okay, the safest method. So this is for somebody who is a poster, who is using somebody's else work, right? Now coming to the creator part, how can creator, like Prashant was asking, like I put up something on the Twitter, how do I safeguard it, right? So you as a creator, what you have to do is first and foremost mention that it is a copyright item, right? Use that symbol, use the symbol C, right? That is the first one for text. And for even on the text also they use some digital watermarks, right? On your images and videos, use digital watermarks. This is one of them. And when you are publishing, you want to show to the, when you're doing a public display or want to showcase your photographs or images, then publish it in low resolution. Okay, low resolution images. So there is then you bring down the range of infringement there. Okay, because if somebody wants to use it, they would like to have a higher quality, higher resolution, right? So they will come to you, come to the creator. Then you can give a formal consent, or you can do whatever you want, as you have the absolute rights. This is one of them. And link all your images and videos to your own website. Okay, this is one very important thing. Create your website, and you are going to publish, link everything to your own website where you have the control over the terms and the conditions. So somebody wants to use it, immediately it will be directed to your own website. Nobody can give any link here. So the content will come back to your copyright website itself. And there you can control it. Nobody can copy it. Nobody can, copy and take it and paste it elsewhere. These technological controls can be used over it, right? And one more thing is that keep a register, keep a record and a track of where all you have displayed or published your work. That is for your own accountability. You know where and all, and you will know if an infringement or anything happens, you will know where it might have gone wrong, right? So these are some of the tips, a generic kind of tips which a creator can and also the poster can use.
Alrighty, I guess we are nearing the end. So due to lack of time, I think we'll have to stop here. I'm sure Prashant himself has a lot of questions, and I have 10 other questions to ask. And I'm pretty sure those who are actually viewing will have like a million questions on this, because everybody is using social media today. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up to questions. So, those who have questions, please write to us on thinkshalla@gmail.com. We're going to have a separate session exclusively for IPR because I'm pretty sure there are plenty of questions that's going to come in from every social media person there, every digital marketing person there, every communicator who's there, who's talking about branding and image management and all that. So those who have questions, either you can leave it in the comment section when you're viewing this on social media platforms, or you could write to us on Thinkshalla, that's thinkshalla@gmail.com, and we promise you we will answer each of your questions. And if we don't find answer, we will direct you to the resources and we'll get them on board and get this answered. That's a promise that I think Thinkshalla can make for all of us. All right. Smita, thank you so much for today. I think as a social media person, both as a user and into the field. I think this is quite a bit of learning for me, because it was just easy to take a photograph and put it up there giving credits. But today I know, despite that, what kind of trouble can people get into because of this. Of course, we look at the copyrights manual, we look at the copyrights that's been published on the website, but then I think there's more to it. Yeah, with that, we conclude
Yes.
today's episode. Thank you so much, Smita, and thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you.
Wish you a very safe surfing on that
Thank you.
online surfing.
Yes, yes, yes. To all of them out there, safe surfing and stay safe. See you.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you, folks. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.